I left very abruptly last time. Hello. Hello. Things are good. Things are okay here. They're not good. And I would like actually to start with saying my friend Ethan organized a Tiltify because there are a lot of people displaced by these fires, and in some areas the evacuation zones have receded, and in some they are expanding, and it is ongoing, and there's another windstorm coming. So we've set up a link if you have... Oh, tell me it didn't work. No, I typed that one wrong. There we go. If you have any means to help in any way, shape, or form, that is a Tiltify link where you can send money, so we could raise funds to help send relief to families who are displaced by the fires. I had been selling my clothes on Depop, and I was going to do another round of that, but I've decided that whatever clothes I had extra that were going to be listed, I'm sending those over to donations to help. It is an insane amount of land that has already been destroyed. I left my house... What day is it? I don't even know where I am. I left my house Wednesday morning. I didn't sleep the entire Tuesday night because you can't sleep. If you're somebody who's living alone during this kind of an event, you have to be on top of every single movement. And so at 5 in the morning, I had to get out of my apartment. I had to go to... I got a hotel in downtown with me and Star, and I spent the next day and then the following night there. But my area is okay now. I was never in an evacuation zone. I did it for peace of mind. It was moving in my direction. It had gotten to the next zone closest to me, and I was like, that's close enough. I'm gonna get myself out early so that we don't get stuck in traffic or something doesn't go wrong. But I don't know, I've never experienced anything like this before. You know that it's something that happens in California, that we have fires often, but never like this. Nothing like this. It is something 20,000 acres in the Palisades and something 14,000 acres in the Eaton Fire area, which is a lot of Pasadena, parts of Glendale. It's unimaginable. I don't even actually know what to do. I've been unable to sit still. I wanted to go live. I wanted to talk about it. I want to have a little bit of some calm and peace with my community while I have calm and peace where I am right now, but I'm doing what I can to try and help as much as I can. I'm making sure I'm checking on all of the updates on my phone. I'm checking on all of my friends as they're needing to evacuate or are able to go home. 2025 was supposed to be our year. I mean, I don't know. We're seeing a lot of people coming together. We're seeing a lot of people coming in to volunteer to help. Something that I have always had the utmost respect and believe is one of the most honorable things are the fire department. My dad is a fireman. He was a firefighter for my whole time growing up. He worked 2 full-time jobs and then was also a firefighter. I would say he had 3 jobs, but he was actually a volunteer firefighter, so he wasn't even... it was not a paid position. Many firefighters are volunteer, and I think that's one of the most honorable things that a person can do. He did it for 20 years, and still does it, volunteer. But he used to be the chief. He was chief for, I think, 10 years. I'm so proud of him, and I think that it's just one of the greatest things. So the things that, if you happen to be someone who's in LA, the things that are needed a lot are the fire department need water. I've heard Gatorade and high-protein meals, not snacks. They need clothes. I have a few resources for sending and donating clothes. There are so many places that have opened to accept aid and to offer shelter. It's very scary. I've got my air purifier on just in case, because the air quality is really, really awful outside now. But I'm at least so grateful that I could be home with me and Star. I was so glad that I did. It ended up being unnecessary. You know, my house was never really in danger, but that's not something you can know. And it's way better to be safe than sorry. And I was glad I got me and Star out of there. I have some things that I'm gonna buy for in case there ever is a next time. There are things that I wish that I had that I'll be getting for this next time. I always have a supply of water in my car, which is something that I'm just a little bit of a planner. I have a fire blanket, which apparently is a thing that a lot of people's parents or dads gave them for this Christmas. I don't know what memo all the dads were sent, because my dad also gave me and all my siblings fire blankets. So I have my fire blanket. I have my own fire extinguisher, because I've always believed in some apartment buildings, you don't know where they have them. They always have a communal one, but in places that I've moved almost every year that I've lived out here, I don't always know where they are. Sometimes they're really easy to locate, sometimes they're not. And I'm like, I just have one of my own, so it's easy and it's accessible. I need a disposable litter box, because Star's situation was not ideal, but I just pulled out, she has an automatic litter box, and then it collects everything in the bottom in a tray that's lined with a plastic bag. I just took the whole tray out and used that instead. You do what you have to do. I packed myself up ramens, and I made ramen in the hotel with my Keurig that was in there. And Star ate out of glasses. People glasses. And her food was put in, they had these little like cardboard covers, and I used little cardboard bowls. Yeah, it isn't worth waiting until you're in the evacuation zone if you see things moving towards... I've never, in all the years that I've lived out here in LA, and all of the years of there being fires, I've never had them come that close and be this big at all. And I'm so worried for all of my friends, but I'm making sure I'm keeping tabs on all of them. I know that they're all safe right now. Everyone's okay. All of my friends are somewhere safe. I've got tabs on them all. I've got their locations. I'm watching. Everyone is safe and all their pets are safe. And what I've been doing with my nerves since last night, I'm working on my next crochet bag. So I was just gonna sit here, chat, try to calm down, because it's really hard to be calm. I started this last night and I'm pretty impressed, actually. I'm making moves, but I also was sick. I've been sick, but I'm way better today. I'm infinitely better today. It has not been fun, but I can only feel grateful that I have everything important to me is safe. I am okay. Oh, those are pancakes. No. I'm doing a brown one this time. I thought that would be cute. I set aside all the different colors I plan to do. So I'm doing, for January, I'm doing a heart theme for all my crochet drops. So I'm doing a bunch more of like these little tote bags, and then a couple little heart satchels, and then I think that'll be all I have for February. But I picked out a bunch of different color patterns. I'm doing this brown one, and then I'm gonna do one square has a little red heart in it. But I started this last night. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. And I need 17 plus 1 with a red heart. It's 18. 9 and 9. I will say, the hotel that I checked myself into, I went into downtown. And I use Expedia, and I've used Expedia for such a long time that I built up enough points to I picked the, like, what looked like the best option for a hotel that was pet friendly and had everything that I needed, and I didn't look beyond that. I just picked the first one, and the one that I picked ended up having the lobby on the 70th floor. Who puts the lobby up there? Who puts the lobby up there? And then, I swear to God, when I left, what day is it today? When I left on Thursday, I was home yesterday. The days are blurring. When I left Thursday, I had to go from the 70 7-0. I went from that floor all the way down to the parking garage to get my car. So, -1. My ears popped today. My ears popped just before stream. I hadn't been fully certain if I was hearing fully, and then I sort of got like accustomed to it, and then I couldn't tell anymore if they had popped or not, and then I just blew my nose before stream, and they just popped from going from the 70th to the -1st floor of this hotel. I didn't even realize they had been clogged that whole time. I just didn't notice I couldn't hear anymore. Oh man, what was happening on the ground floor? It had like a separate lobby. It had like a regular lobby that had only security and an elevator. It had a separate elevator to the parking levels, and then an elevator to only 3 specific. That you had to take a chain of elevators to get to your floor, because I had to go to the lobby. No, I had to go from one elevator from the parking garage to the 1st floor lobby, to the other elevator to go up to the 70th floor lobby, to check in, to get my room number, which was on the 52nd floor, to then have to go to a different elevator than the one that took me up to the 70th, because that one doesn't go to the floors. Different elevator to get to the floors, to go down to the 52nd floor. Oh my god. Downtown is crazy. Three different elevators because none of them went to the same places. But we were safe. The only thing that I'm a little sad about is that I used all of my Wikipedia points, so it was really not that much money, but it was very clearly a bougie hotel, and I didn't realize that until I got there. And I did not, it wasn't about enjoying it, but I enjoyed it not at all, because the entire day, I got there Wednesday, I checked in Wednesday at 5 a.m., and they allowed early check-ins because of the state of emergency. And then I slept the whole day. The whole day. Literally, I would wake up for about an hour in between a couple of times, and then I woke up at 10 a.m. Thursday to get ready to check out. But I was so sick. I was exhausted, like physically and emotionally, and I literally never left the bed. And neither did Star. Me and her just cuddled the whole time. But she was nervous, but she really had a fun time exploring the hotel room, and that brought me a lot of joy because I got to watch her wander around and like check things out and be a little bit brave, and she really liked looking out the window a lot, and she sat in the windowsill a lot, and she didn't know any better, so that like made me really happy to watch her wander around and explore, and there were so many things for her to climb up onto, and it was fun for her because she didn't know. I want to take her to hotel rooms more often as she's allowed to be in them, because it was probably really good for her to get to explore a place that isn't her house and get comfortable wandering around. She's just not a very comfortable cat most places. I'm gonna have to, she's gonna be down calling for dinner soon when she notices what time it is. But we are safe. We are safe, and I am so grateful. And I'm staying on standby so that I'm keeping tabs on everything going on. As much as I don't expect things in my area to change as of today, you really never know. But also I'm keeping an eye out because I am offering myself to help my friends in any way, shape, or form. I told any of my friends that are not currently in their homes, if they need me to bring them literally anything to where they're staying, I have a car and can do that. So I'm on call tonight. This is I usually just type in it's literally called Royalty Free Math Rock and Midwest. That's the playlist I'm playing. I was actually going to switch to Spotify because it feels like the kind of a night to have a little treat of some illegal music and take the risk. I'll let the playlist finish. I am on speed dial because these are the times when you realize, I don't know what the right word is, not realize, but I mean, I think that in a more of a general sense as well, though, these are the times where recognizing and connecting with your community for help is going to be so important. And I believe it is one of the most important things. Everyone out here are just people. They're all people. They might have some of them, not all of them, because thinking that all of these areas that are affected are just rich people, that's not true. Even the people with $1 million homes, they're not. We are still all just people, and we're still on the same side of things, where if we're recognizing at this point finally that there is a class issue, though these are not the people that are our enemies. These are our people. These are our people. These are still our people. And this is not the time. Bring that energy to Jeff Bezos's house or Elon Musk's house. Not to mention, because I did notice a lot of people are talking about the Palisades fire primarily, but there are about 5 and counting, because they're popping up all over the place. And there are people starting some of them. But the Palisades might be one, and not entirely, but a particularly well-off area. The Eden fire is ravaging a community that is not so well off. And there are so many, they're all just people. And anytime that I mention anything about this, which might be the whole time, but if I could encourage the mods, because I should set this up on a timer, and I will, because I'm going to leave this command for a while, because this will be something that really will be important for a while. It'll take a long time to rebuild. We have a Tiltify set up. That was Ethan who organized that with Tiltify, and let me read the message he sent me. And his friends at Real Good Touring, they all put together, they're putting together a massive event. They put together this Tiltify to raise money. We will be doing more. He's got plans to host like a big stream about it, so it'll be good. Do you want to see what I'm doing? Is it important to you to see what my hand motions are doing while I'm crocheting? Or are we just here for the chatting vibes? I gotta get a hand cam. We need to recognize that even owning $1 million home, the way that we are so set apart from the people who have $1 billion, I'm telling you, even the people with $1 million, and we've been saying this, even the people with $1 million homes, all of us and them included, are way closer to finding ourselves without a home than a billionaire. Because that is just an insane thing to ever hope to achieve, and shouldn't ever be hoped to achieve. But anyway. I am glad I was raised by the parents I was raised by, though, in some moments like this, where my dad gave me my fire blanket for Christmas, and he taught me a lot of really good things, being a fireman. It's just such a... I think it's one of the most selfless, especially a lot of fire departments are volunteer. It is unpaid. It's such a selfless act. My dad instilled in me the great work ethic I believe that I have, where I watched him working 2 jobs and being a volunteer firefighter, and then I worked 3 jobs and was a full-time and then part-time student. I could never be more proud of my dad, and he was a firefighter in New Jersey, and so he was one of many who went in to help in New York during 9/11, and I think it was just one of the most selfless. They needed people to man the fire stations while New York's fire department went to ground zero, because you can't just abandon. There would still possibly be other fires and other emergencies that they would need fire departments for, but they sent all of New York fire department firemen to the scene, and they had New Jersey firemen come in to take over their stations to handle any other emergencies that would have happened. I like talking about my parents because I do love them so much. They're the coolest. They taught me such great things. They taught me such great lessons. My mom is one of the most kind people and thoughtful. She gives a birthday and Christmas gift every year to our mailman and my bus driver when I was in school, and our UPS driver, because she's so friendly. We'd get to know them. They were always the same person on that same route. Very glad, feeling very grateful. And also, this whole thing is making me really wish I was anywhere near any family at all. I really miss them right now. They are better where they are, though. That's for sure. This is definitely... My mom doesn't like flying, and I would love for her to visit me more. This is definitely not going to convince her. She's not going to want to come visit anymore. Thank you guys for subscribing. Anybody who was ever going to be interested, if you wanted to subscribe or donate, I would encourage you to send whatever you would have used to do that to this Tiltify. Please and thank you. But thank you everyone who subbed. Thank you everyone who's here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chilling. I can give you my updated feelings about Gilmore Girls as I continue to watch more of that while I crochet and calm my nerves. I have many thoughts and feelings, but it will come with spoilers. I am upset. I'm always upset. I feel like I'm not enjoying this last season anymore. I was having a good time, and I'm not having a good time anymore. I hate it. It's not my favorite season. Which season are you in? The last one. What people who have watched Gilmore Girls, all of it, what are your feelings on that last season? I'm not finished with it, but I am not having a good time. I'm not having a good time with this last season. Many times shows, it's that last season that they, like, maybe they should have called it one early, because it's just really not a good season. Like the last season of Supernatural, or the last season of Parks and Rec, in my opinion. The last season of... I don't know what happens in the last season that it's ruined. Psych, I watched, I think, is that the show I'm thinking of? No, Scrubs. I watched all of Scrubs. I didn't like the last season, if I remember correctly. I'm not enjoying this last season. And I have a feeling all of the relationships that are going to be over by the end of it, because I just think, I don't know. I'm not done yet. The Office, people say that about The Office. Last season of The Office is the worst season. New Girl had the worst last season. Oh, and what a good show, though. What a great show. Because Logan is my favorite, and I just don't expect I don't know. I can't imagine this show ends with them together, but I want it to because I love Logan the best. He is the best. Lorelai and Chris, I have to say, I was so happy. I had been honestly low-key in secret wishing they'd end up together ever since I made that post on Tumblr saying they have such great chemistry, and then he went and got a different woman pregnant. I still was rooting for them in secret, and they finally get together and they get married. And then he's like, talk about anger issues. I don't think Dean has the worst anger issues in this show. It's Chris. And he flies off the handle way too often at Lorelai. And then they just don't end up together. And then I'm so tired of them going back and forth between Chris and Luke, Chris and Luke, Chris and Luke. She finally picked Chris. And no, now we're back to Luke. And I don't care about Luke anymore. I don't care. I did not care about his storyline at all after he split up with Lorelai the last time. I'm over him. I don't want to hear about him anymore. I would hope he'd leave the show. I do not care about hearing about Luke separate from Lorelai, and I don't want him back anymore. I'm fed up with the back and forth. She's the worst men to pick from. And she deserves the best because she's the best character. Also, Lane, I feel like, has been done a great disservice. I haven't even talked about her, because I don't like her storyline. I don't know. And I'm like, am I being too harsh? I don't like it. I adore Lorelai. She's the best. I really don't like Lane's storyline. The Luke hate hurts. I'm so sorry. I know. I have very different opinions than I hate Jess. I don't know when the last time you watched this show is, but I'm a certified Jess hater, and nothing will change my mind probably at this point. He's barely in the show! I'm so confused by the Jess love because he's barely in the show. And he's an asshole for most of the time. Lane deserved better. I don't like that guy she ended up with. I just don't like the way her life ended up. I don't know why. I don't like it. I think that she deserved better. Sorry, I don't even remember that guy's name. And maybe it's because I'm mad about Adam Brody. I wanted her to be with him. And he probably couldn't do the show anymore because he was doing a bunch of other stuff at that time. But I don't remember that other guy's name. And I don't care. Logan, sincerely though, kind of the best partner Rory's had of all of them. Like, objectively, much better than Jess. Jess barely even had a chance being her partner at all, so I don't even know where the obsession comes from. They had great chemistry. He has a cool vibe. He has, like, this cool guy energy. He's barely in the show. Personally, I'm a Jess hater. My people. I'm a Logan lover. And I do also think part of my loving Logan comes a little bit from the fact that I've seen that actor as an adult. I think he's in a Chicago show. It's either Chicago Med. I think it's Chicago Med. Or there's like Chicago PD, Chicago Fire. I think he's in Chicago Med. He's the oldest of all her partners. He's the most mature. And that man is fine. He is fine. As an adult. I started and I hated him immediately. Because, see, here's the thing. He's mean to everyone in Rory's life immediately. Dean is nice to him. He's immediately friendly, and Jess is mean to him just because he's Rory's boyfriend and he already just wants Rory and he doesn't like Dean. And it's all very immature and they're kids at that point, right? But then when he comes back, I kind of didn't like how they brought him back and they wanted him to be this like changed man. Like Jess went away for all this time. You didn't see him and he came back and he's such a good guy. But it felt like they were kind of forcing it a little bit. And it's like, you can't just force me to believe this is an entirely new, changed, good person because we haven't seen him in years. And it just felt forced. And he also was still being a jerk to Logan, who was Rory's current partner. You weren't around, and Logan is a really great guy. And then he never comes back. Jess is barely in the show. The Chicago everything these days. It really is. Chicago has its own, like, whole little Hollywood going on, it feels like, because they have Chicago Med, Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, right? And they use a lot of the same actors and like they have a lot of crossover with The Bear, takes place in Chicago, has a lot of similar actors. Shameless takes place in actually I don't know if it takes place in Chicago, but it's filmed in Chicago and has a lot of the same actors. So if you want to get into acting, you have a shot if you go to Chicago, I think. Paris is iconic, not gonna lie. Real. 100% agree. Paris has never been wrong, probably, I think. I'd have to rewatch, but I'm pretty sure. Yes. I love Paris. I'm so happy they ended up becoming as good friends as they do. She's so funny. Ooh, this is also not a very perfect show, because there's a lot of things that are just sort of overlooked, like the fact that you just have to accept and overlook everyone cheating on each other. They're, who I would have called the most perfect couple in this entire show, Sookie and Jackson. This is why this season is my least favorite. They ruined Jackson for me. And I don't remember. They made him evil! I was like, what? You can't. And then they had her just get over it so fast. And I was like, I'm not over it. I'm not okay. So, how many seasons back he gets a vasectomy? He says he gets a vasectomy. They didn't show anything way back when that would have alluded to the fact that he didn't actually do it, right? Was that just something they pulled out of their asses later to be like, let's ruin Jackson? Because I don't think they left any hint back then that he didn't actually do it. I just can't remember. You actually can't do that. You actually can't do that. He says he got a vasectomy. Lied. And then, like, there's so many words that you should and could use in this situation to describe what happened. Really beside myself over it. And then his partner gets pregnant because she doesn't know. And he didn't tell her because she was on the pill, and she got off of it because she felt like it, because that's her choice. She's allowed to stop taking medications if it's safe for her to do so. It's between her and her doctor. And she just didn't happen to tell him, because why would he need to know? Because he got a vasectomy. What relevance is it for her to bring it up to him that she stopped taking the pill? And then she got pregnant. And then she's just over it. She just gets over it. Oh my god. That was not done. She didn't. I'm just beside myself. I'm gonna go grab another bottle of water. I can't even. That was insane, because they were perfect. Everything about them was perfect, always. That's the thing with Jess, too. He does something, in my opinion, a little bit unforgivable for me, that they throw in really casually and then just kind of, like, move on from. Very cool and casual like. There are a few things that are done very cool and casual that I don't feel very cool and casual about. So that's my feelings. But I don't know. I don't like Luke because I'm mad at him because he had everything and he's an idiot. Every guy that is Lorelai's option to pursue is an idiot. That's how I feel. All of the men in this show, actually, idiots. Except maybe Logan, because at least the latest incident that he did, he like made a big bad business move that was a mistake, and then he went on this big trip to Vegas to get over it, which is a little bit distasteful. You're allowed to feel that way. But he totally owned up to it, and Logan, every time he's messed up, has come back and completely owned up to it. So I really like Logan. All the other men, idiots. I'm just waiting for the shoe to drop that is gonna show me that Logan is also an idiot ultimately, because I just don't see them staying together in the finale of this show. I don't know why. I want them to. That would be my dream. I think he's the best one. But I'm not feeling hopeful for it. This show is ruining everyone in the final act. Logan defended Rory to his mean fit. Yeah, Logan, every time that, honestly, it like hits me in my stomach where I get a little triggered some of the times that he reacts with Rory, but then he always comes back and does the thing that he's supposed to and should do as a partner. He knows what he does wrong. He owns up to it. He talks about it. He fixes it. He's such a self-aware and mature. He's a man, because they're actually adults at this point in the show, so gotta give it to him. But it's very impressive and very reassuring, because he'll like screw up and it'll give me a pit in my stomach and I'm like, oh no. But then he does exactly the perfect thing that Rory needed him to do to remedy the situation. Sometimes Rory's the one in the wrong and I'm always like, Rory, you fucked it up. Now he's gonna leave you. But even then he's still mature. And he stays and he listens. And he's a nice man. Alright, where am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I made the heart. I've just been working away. I really, really liked Chris coming back. Him and Gigi. Like, I loved the idea of them all being a family. The fact that that was an end game. My ideal end would have been Lorelai and Chris staying together. Rory and Logan staying together. Oh, I really wanted them to stay. I didn't care about Luke anymore. I didn't care. I was so mad at Chris for bringing him up. And I just really wanted it to be Lorelai and Chris at the end. He has anger issues, though. If anyone, for being the grown man that he is, he was insecure, jealous, and has anger issues a little. Have you watched The Resident? That's what it is! It isn't Chicago Med, it's The Resident! I was saying that I think I might like Logan the best because I've seen clips of him in the show that he's in as an adult now, and I just... he's a real adult man, so I'm not gonna... I'm gonna say he looks good. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Resident. I've never watched it, but I did see clips of it. I thought it was Chicago Med. I knew it was some medical show, and I love a medical show. I've watched most of Grey's Anatomy. That show kept going for a long time, so you can't blame me for not finishing that one. I finished House. I finished Scrubs. I finished... I know there's another one. I watched a lot of ER. That one's a classic. Love a medical show. Okay. Alright, so my next show after I finish Gilmore Girls finally. The Resident. Actually, no, I have to go and finish Owl House. Because I've had a pin in that one too. I'm gonna switch this to a little Spotify time. We're gonna have a little cheeky Spotify time. I've made my new playlist for 2025. And by that I mean I've made the empty playlist to start throwing songs in. I don't think I put anything in it yet, or maybe one. But I love a new year, a new playlist to throw songs into. It's always fun for me. I want to start watching Grey's Anatomy, but I feel like I'm way too behind. No, you're not. If I'm not way too behind to be jumping into Gilmore Girls at this point, you're never too behind to be jumping into a show as iconic. The shows that I think are always going to be, like, I don't think you're too late. Gilmore Girls, Grey's Anatomy, Vampire Diaries, honestly, I really, really want to get into watching Buffy, the Vampire Slayer, because TikTok was shoving that down my throat really hard recently, so I kind of really want to watch that, and I know I'm way late to that. Oh, we have Buffy fans. Let me tell you, I have become immediately interested in the Buffy Spike ship. That's the only thing that I know about from this show is the few TikToks that snuck their way onto my For You page. that are about Buffy and Spike specifically. Oh my goodness. But I've already, because I need to stop falling down these holes because I've already spoiled so much of the show for myself. And I'll be dissatisfied in how it ends, but that's fine because then, we don't have to really pay that much attention to the ending of a show like that hard. We can just get that you get close enough to the end of the show and then you just decide what you think would have happened because you know better at that point. You know the characters well enough to be able to decide what makes more sense. Can you hear this? It only has one season? Oh, I thought you were talking about Buffy. I was like, really? Cute Willow. And she's such a cute actress. I love her. Buffy should have ended after season 5. That's what everyone who's ever watched Supernatural said too. It was supposed to end after season 5, actually. The ending of season 5 was the scripted end of the show. And then the CW were like, how about another one? And then every season after that, they were like, how about another one? And then they invented Super Hell, just to throw our favorite angel into it. And I'll never forgive them. Oh, is it high? Oh no. Because for me, it's not. It's way loud. Okay, good. Tell me how that is. I adjusted something ever so slightly, but you might have not noticed anything. It shouldn't have actually changed anything for you if I did that right. I did watch Arcane. I watched all of Arcane. Oh my goodness. That one's a doozy. Vi is my favorite. Echo is the best. My subjective opinion, Vi is my favorite. My objective opinion, Echo is the best character. Supernatural ruined me and shaped me as a person. I remember watching Supernatural when it was like airing early seasons. The early seasons of Supernatural are really, really iconic, and you're never too late for going back and watching those either, I think. Literally season 1 through 5, and then I even did still enjoy season 6 because that is when they introduced Castiel, the angel, but it's when you got into season 9 and plus territory that things started getting, like, too far. Too weird. Think you'd like the Dragon Prince? We talked about this once where I couldn't watch it at the time because the frame rate of that first season was physically making me ill. But I've been told it's better later if you can get through that first season. So I think that I can do it, especially because I watch a lot of shows by just glancing up in between crocheting, and I'm mostly just listening to the show, so I can get through that first season by doing that, I think. The first 3 seasons? Oh, that's rough, dude. I wish there was any way for that to be, like, remastered in a way that the show didn't need to be remade entirely. But that was, like, I was getting a headache watching. It's neat. I'm gonna finish Owl House first, because I've had a pin in that one for a while, and I'm finally back and finishing Gilmore Girls, so I'm gonna work my way back to those. Oh my god, I have to announce something. I'm gonna write this in a post in the Discord, but I have made a decision for a new community event with you guys, and that is going to be every last Saturday of the month. Oh, I was like, Michael Shovel. Every last Saturday of the month, we're going to have movie night, and I think I'm going to force everybody to work through watching every Ghibli movie with me. So, starting with, what's this last Saturday? The 25th this month, we're going to have a little Discord movie night. I don't know which one I'll start with, but we're gonna have movie nights every last Saturday of the month, and then special occasions being October and December, we're gonna have a movie night every week. Probably Saturdays, but I don't want to say that now just in case. I think that I could commit to that, but you never know what happens, but those are going to be special occasions for us to watch scary movies, and specifically for Christmas, we're going to be watching Hallmark Christmas movies every week. So that's on the agenda for a fun community night, and I think that that's going to be really fun. Kiki's Delivery Service is one of my favorites. I rewatched Boy and the Heron recently, and I love that one. I do really, really love that one. Howl's Moving Castle is my favorite, but I'm pretty sure we did the movie night for that already. I don't remember which ones we watched because we did movie nights before. But they're coming back in a more formal, official way and in an organized way. You'll always know when they're happening because it'll always be the last Saturday of the month. And then we're going to have a chat where we organize all the movies we've watched. This was something I stole from Ethan because he told me about how he does it with his community. He sets up like 5 reaction images of different emojis, like happy, sad, mid feeling, and then you can react and tell me what your feelings are about the movie there, and we'll keep a master list of everything we've watched. We'll skip the ones that we already watched in previous movie nights. We may even end up rewatching those. We'll just not count that. How'd I learn to crochet? Practice. Unfortunately, I think that's any person who does an art form of any kind is only ever going to be able to tell you practice. Don't choose something too overcomplicated to start off. Choose something very simple. Choose just a square, like a regular dish rag square, like a moss stitch, or even just a single stitch over and over again. This one I do find to be very, very easy, the heart granny square, but I would say I'm slightly more advanced. I don't know if I'm advanced or I'm intermediate. I should have been keeping track of when I like officially started too, because I couldn't tell you how long I've been doing it for now. I don't really know. When did I make that first star bag? I'll have to look when I posted about it. But I'm trying to keep my hands up so you can see me, but I don't know that you care. I want people who knit to explain to me how you do that, because that confuses me. I think when you've learned one first, it makes the other one harder. But they say knitting is easier. You're working with 2 needles when you're knitting, and I don't know what you do about a dropped stitch. I did add a couple new things to my throne, and a couple of new things that is a bunch of yarn and a yarn winder. Knitting is not easier? Okay, I don't know who lied then. I don't know. Do you think that it has to do with, like, you know how people talk about when you have a left brain or right brain dominant? If you're left or right brain dominant, do you think it has to do with that or something? Is there something in the brain about it? Or many people can do both. It's like if you can be ambidextrous. Oh, how do you crochet if you're left-handed? Any left-handed crocheters in here, do you just do it the other way? Like you hold it in the other hand? Which sounds stupid for me to just ask, as if that sounds so complicated to me. You can't just say perchance. I don't know, sorry, you guys are replying to each other, but I think that's so funny. You can't just say perchance. Yes, I do it flipped. Whoa. That blows my mind! How do you... I'm not left-handed. See, my brain just doesn't comprehend. And then many people who are left-handed often can force themselves to be ambidextrous because they were forced to write with their right hand. That's more like way before your time and my time. I'm right-handed. What time is it? Oh no, I'm squinting to see. It's my eyes. I write with my left hand, but do a lot of physical things like throwing with my right hand. It makes no sense. Yeah, you're one of the you and everybody else who was on Kolak. I think I was one of the only of like 2 people in that whole entire building who was right-handed. For being such a weird show that we were a part of, the fact that almost the entire cast was left-handed was also just so weird. But then a lot of left-handed people just learned how to do things with their right hand, some things and not other things. You know what I do? I would, if I was in college, I used my longboard, I would skate with my opposite foot. With meeting fellow lefties. Almost the entire cast of Kolak was left-handed. How often does that happen that you accidentally get a room full of people that are all left-handed? It was wild. Completely right-handed, but for some reason I snowboard lefty. Yeah, sometimes when it comes to sports on a board, you end up doing the opposite. That happens often. What do they call it? Goofy, I think. When you... Because it's different with your feet. So am I left foot dominant? Yeah, it was such an anomaly to have a room full of people. And considering the show was all about, I don't know. Somebody sent me an ask about Kolak on Tumblr a while back. And asked me, oops, where am I? They asked me why I chose for my character's birthday to be January 1st. And so they must not have noticed. All of the original cast from season 1's birthdays are January 1st. Canonically. And I guess some people didn't notice that. Shoot, I keep messing up. They were like, what is the significance of choosing that for your characters? I didn't choose it. We all had the same birthday. Weren't there a ton of August B-days on the cast as well? Yes. I know at least me, you, and Mika. It's just like some weird coincidences for a show all about some like weird occurrences. Kind of funny, kind of weird. Very, Twilight Zone feeling. What show are you talking about? I was on a live role-playing tabletop show called Kolak 1991, Seasons 1 and 2, available on YouTube on HyperRPG. It is sort of a similar type of show as the concept of Critical Role with D&D is, except we used a role-playing system called Kids on Bikes. And we were kids in high school with powers, so kind of like Stranger Things, but 10 times more tragic and doomed. What powers did Mickey have? Mickey had kinda the most OP. Basically, oh my god, I'm actually struggling to remember exactly how it worked. Didn't I basically have the powers of like light from OneNote, where if I knew somebody's name, I could just kill them. I could eliminate them from the earth. All I needed was a person's name. Our powers developed and were complicated. Oh no, it was so long ago that I'm struggling to remember the first season and how it started and how my powers developed as a character. And then we also had a different role-playing show called The Unleashed, where we played a different set of teenagers with powers, so I had a whole other different character with a different power set. I miss those days of sitting at a table and role-playing with my friends. Those kinds of things are so fun. I really loved doing the Banner Saga series, where we had, I think it was just 3 episodes, and I had a character called Sylvie, I think. That was a really fun one. I loved role-playing. I did a lot of tabletop for a while. Big fun. Unleashed. Oh. Oh. I didn't delete that one. That one probably could get added back, because I was going through the commands earlier, and the Kolak one is still there. It's really fun to just play a lovable idiot. Right? I love improvising like that. I would never do an improv class, probably, but I really like that kind. It was fun, and as tragic and dramatic as some of it would be, it was so funny. It was so much fun. It was also nice when we were every week going somewhere physically. It was like a nice part of my routine to get out of the house, go spend time in person with people. That was before the pandemic, and that was really nice. And it is big missed now. Everyone was always, there were so many funny interactions. We had so many characters that were kind of goofy, lovable, comedic relief. Because I feel like, I think yours, Mallory, was definitely one of them. Tibby, Zach's Tibby. And then Lucas's Billy. They were so funny and goofy. And it was fun to just, like, play like kids. Probably good for our inner child until something traumatic happened to our characters again. As it always did. I am making a heart granny square. This one's upside down, so I started this last night. My next project is I'm going to call it chocolate heart tote bag. I've done all of these so far today, or since last night. And I need to make 18 squares in total, and I'm going to make a bag. Is that how you met Megan, Mika, and Abria? No. No. Abria, yes. Mika and Megan, no. We met before. Megan I met way the first year that I ever moved to LA. I met her at a Pokemon pre-release. We were doing Pokemon. H brought me to a pre-release, and that's where I met her. Mallory was comedic relief, but then would be moments of this deep darkness that would come up every now and then. The demons would creep in every once in a while, and we'd be reminded that this is not a happy story, and this is not a happy time. But then I loved how like we would get so creative with some of the sets sometimes. We'd like have little group trips places sometimes. I loved when we had a whole diner set. I loved when we had the old school box TV set up. We had a whole fake dead body one time. We've had so many cool guests on the show. The same episode that we had the whole fake body, we had Matthew Mercer on. And everyone has so much fun with it when they were on. Everyone had so much fun joining, and it was so fun it's so fun bouncing off of people with similar humor, and nothing beats improv as a character quite like a role-playing game. I always think about the episode where we were lost outside, but we all had flashlights. It reminded me like an old radio play. Oh, yeah. And then I liked, we did a whole trip to the beach once. We were doing a photo shoot for promotion, but we just also were doing a trip to the beach. And so many fun times. We rented a cabin. Yeah, it was a little bit like, class trip. It was like going on a class trip. I don't find myself going out of the house that often for stuff anymore. So it was really nice having outings like that. And then the pandemic changed everything. Everything changed when the pandemic attacked. Riffside was so good. That was another really, really fun one. We had to adapt, and that one was entirely done by COVID guidelines and was done at our own homes. But we did do filming for the cut scenes all together. We all did our COVID testing so that we could do that production, and that was so fun. I love being a part of something like that. It always looks like it must be so fun to be someone who is working on a movie, because it looks like a similar vibe of working on a project like that and then going on little trips and having sleepovers in a cabin. It was really fun. It's all very creatively collaborative, too. Ooh. I learned a trick that I didn't start soon enough with this tote bag that I'm going to try for the next one, where when you're doing the heart and then going into the next round, that's the next color outside around it, the border around the heart. If you do it in the back loops only of the heart, it'll make it kind of stand out like 3D. I'm going to try that for the next one. I haven't tried it yet. I would have had to do it on all of the other squares, and I made too many before I learned about that. But I'm going to try that for the next one. That sounds super cool. The Unleashed was my first intro to D&D, and it was so cool to watch. That one, that Charlie will remain one of my favorite characters. She was so much fun to work on, and I liked her power set. And we still have plans to complete their stories in a comic book, because we started telling their stories in a comic book. We are in a comic book floating around out there. But we want to have one that's dedicated just to our characters and their story, and we're still hoping to work on that. Done. 1 square. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I need 5 more, and then I'm doing one with a red heart because I like having a little extra, little neat square that's there to be different. He's not like the other squares. And that was a different system too. The Unleashed was a system called Masked, and then Kolak was a system called Kids on Bikes. You know what was my favorite, I think, actually, Kolak maybe, was the episode where, as Kolak characters, we played Teens in Space, a different system. So as our characters in Kolak, we played a role-playing game. So we had to play our characters playing characters, and that was really, really fun. That was a really good episode. Or there was multiple episodes. That was like a 3-part, because it was specifically to play the system Teens in Space, to check it out because it was new. And that was very lighthearted because there was no danger for our characters at that time. We were just there to roleplay Ception. We had to roleplay our characters role-playing. That was fun. That was really, really fun. Oh, the Halloween episode? Oh, which one was that? Which one's the one where I had zombie makeup done? I got my face full beat to look like a zombie one episode because I died. Good times. I'm weaving my ends. I sew them in as I go, but in the few tutorials I watched when I first learned how to do this, was told that you should also go back, skip a loop, and then go back through the other way. You shouldn't just weave through one way and then cut it. So that's what I do. I don't know that it would ever come out if I didn't, but I'm making it extra secure. I believe you're introducing me to my favorite show. Koak is the fact that it's all improv. If you like that vibe, it was almost nominated for an Emmy. The same one that Rand's show Gen Lost was almost nominated for. They were up for almost being nominated for the same award. It's really cool. It's very, very cool. I think highly of it. Still. It is a lot to watch, though. Do I have my yarn vase? Yes. I've refilled it. I used this for stuffing for my niece and nephew's gifts. And I've refilled it, so now I need to make myself a Totoro sometime soon. But we're gonna have the merch store soon, and I'm making these tote bags first. Beautiful. Beautiful. Add him to the stack, and I stick my needle through it. Keep them nice and organized in here. I've gotten way faster at this. This would have taken me multiple days. It did take me an hour to do that one square, but that's because I'm yapping. Oh, before I hold on, get a load of this. You're going to want to hear it. Star, want dinner? Star, want dinner? She's deep in sleep. Star, dinner time. There it is. You want dinner? Yeah. Come get dinner. She's sitting at the top of the stairs. Come on. Yeah? You want dinner? Okay. You can have dinner. You're going to be able to hear her the entire time I'm giving it to her. Hold on. Want dinner? Come on. Could you hear her? gets the loudest when she's watching me get her dinner for her. Okay. I'm putting my feet up in the foot hammock. I'm gonna try and make one more square. Get her in the opera. She's so vocal. She didn't used to be so vocal. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, she gets very impatient once she sees me actively getting her dinner together. Me and her, we love dinner time. We love food. You know what I don't understand about crochet that I've heard from people? Beginners struggle with magic circles, but I have never for the life of me been able to learn how you start with a chain, like you chain 4 and then you start double crocheting into the center. That has never worked for me. The magic circle is so much easier for me than that. I have never successfully been able to do that. Mine always comes out wrong. She crocheted once, made a little basket, gave up after that. That's actually something I need to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are a couple things in my house that I want to make little baskets for storage. But I'm just focused on making these bags first for February. I have time though. Lots of time. It's really just however many I make in time for when I do my first drop. Magic circle annoys the hell out of me sometimes. See, I am unbothered with the magic circle. I am very bothered by a chain 4 and then you connect it to itself and then stitch into the middle. What? I just can't do it. I think I'm probably always stitching into the wrong hole or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Look at this beautiful, beautiful magic circle that I will tighten. And now it's a circle. They're so easy. Nice and tight, you got a little circle. Beautiful. Ooh. Ah. My chains are always too loose or too tight. That's probably my issue because I have a tension issue. I'm tense all the time. I hold my yarn really tight. What can I say? I've got anxiety. Beautiful. I need to make a sunflower bag. That's going to be flowers are for the next drop, but I have a flower satchel pattern, and I'm going to make a sunflower one for sure. This is my 2024 playlist, which is officially complete because the year is over, so it will no longer be updated. This is actually back at the beginning of that playlist. I reached a point with this playlist where I was only playing it from the bottom half down because those were the newest added. But then I haven't appreciated these beginning songs from the beginning of the year in so long. Let me try and move my chair up, actually, because I'm sitting too low, and I think I have room. Oh my god, my chair goes up here. Because I can't put... Oh my god! My feet aren't touching the floor. They're dangling. I'm putting them up in my hammock anyway. But I don't put it up this high because I can't put the armrests underneath the desk. Oh my god, I'm so tall all of a sudden! Oh my god, this is way better. Okay, this makes so much more sense. I'm so much more centered. I was sitting too low. Usually, because I was sitting too comfortable. Usually I sit on my feet and it elevates me a little bit. But if I slouch even a little bit, I end up in the bottom quarter of the frame. But I normally don't have my chair boosted up this high because I can't put the arms underneath. Oh my goodness, but now I can't touch the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4. But now you can see what I'm doing. I'm doing treble crochets. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7. Sometimes you need to have it tight though, and I never know.
Change my faith, all praise the flag. It's way to
Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've heard about Epic Musical, and I did hear one of those songs. I don't understand what that is in general. Like, I don't understand it, but I heard one song from it, and it was like the 1,000 Stabs or something. That's good. That was good. That was really good. Whatever that was about. 600 Strikes. I never know what it was. I think I said that last time we talked about this, because I was like, I remember we talked about this before. 600 Strikes. That was a banger. That was a great song. Don't understand any of the context, but an insanely good song. I could appreciate a good song. I think, I just connected the dots. I know why I don't probably usually enjoy musicals, but I do enjoy them. I really liked Book of Mormon. It was really funny. And I really like when they do have like a good song, but my appreciation for music almost always usually comes in the vibe rather than the lyrics. And so much of the musical is listening to the lyrics, and I'm just really not listening to music to be listening to words. I'm usually there for the vibe. So when there's a song in a musical that has a good vibe without the lyrics needed to be listened to, then I'm in. But if I have to listen to the words, I don't know. I'm capable of it, but I just usually listen to music for the vibes. That's usually my primary interest in music, is vibes. I'm gonna need to get one of those yarn winders, because look at this sad state of my yarn. Because I'm pulling it from the middle, he's becoming this sad worm. It's horrible to witness. Poor guy. It is a loaf of bread. They just start getting so limp when you pull from the middle. And then I keep getting all these TikToks, people caking their yarn. And I see people have these like insanely cool yarn walls of their cakes. Hey, baby. Oh, look. My mom got her a Christmas present. Oh, see, this is why I don't like the chair being this high. I just whacked. That's her first Christmas tree. She is too big for it. She doesn't fit inside. She could fit if she wanted. She's mostly too big though. But that's her first Christmas tree. That was my, oh, there she goes. That was my mom's gift to her. It's very cute. Very, very cute. I'm thinking about rearranging a little bit of my apartment, and I kind of want to make this corner have a little bit more coziness to it. I kind of want to put like a whole armchair back there and a rug. Fill it out a little bit more, because it's just one big open space, which I left that way because I wanted room for my yoga mat. But I have room for that elsewhere also. Star is a little princess. She's my baby girl. I will do anything for her. I will keep her safe. Give her anything she needs. She's so sweet too. She's such a gentle girl. So loving. So sweet on me. Last stream she sat on my lap. Love your room. Thank you. I have ideas of more I want to do. But I love how my home is actually currently. Very happy here. Update on the rainbow, you gonna flip it? Yeah, that's a later project that one night I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna break out the first rainbow I got sent, chop off the round part, flip it to the other side so that, and then peel this one off. It's a lot of work for what will be a very minor difference, but to me makes all the difference. It's a big deal, actually. I think that it really will look better. I think it'll really make a massive difference back there. You don't understand the original rainbow that should have been here and the one that I was sent first that was facing the wrong way. The stripes are so much bigger. It would take up, it'd come out to like, it'd be so much bigger. It was so much bigger. And I love the colors more. The color difference is very subtle, but the size of it, that's the bigger difference. It's huge. I have to get my ladder to put it up. And I just bought a giant painting from Home Goods because I have this like ledge where I put up a bunch of paintings and a ladder for Star to get down so she can lay on that ledge part. But I got a giant painting to put up there and I'm very excited to get up there, but I'm scared, so I need to have people over so that they make sure if I were to fall that I will be sent to the hospital immediately. Just in case. It's just like a big shelf ledge I have. Yeah, I'll change the rainbow, see who notices first. I think the size will be immediately noticeable, but I might be delusional. I think that things that are very small differences are actually major differences. And other people are like, no, you're crazy. And then believe it or not, what I kind of wanted to put in the corner back there, because I wanted to get a little... There's an IKEA chair that I saw they're coming out with soon in a new release of furniture that I really want to get. And I think it's orange, and it swivels. And then I wanted to get like a light purple little circle rug for the corner. Purple. Me. I just think it'd be a really cute place to have a little pop of purple, maybe. A little pastel purple. You are delusional. I notice small differences. To me, they matter. Oh no, I messed that up. Purple mentioned. Oh, almost had a disaster on my hands. Ooh, I should put fairy lights on my stair railing. That would be cool. I wish I could paint the railing black. I think that would be cool too. I actually painted something in my last apartment black, and they never noticed. They never asked me about it because I painted my door green at my last place, and they did notice and they did ask me about it. And they actually said I was such a good tenant that they were not going to charge me for repainting it. And I was like, oh my goodness, thank you. But they did not notice the other thing I painted. And that means that it probably looked better. That's what I take that as meaning, is it looked better the way I did it. If they didn't notice, what they don't know won't hurt them. Oh, I messed up. I don't know what happened. I stopped paying attention. If it improves the space, I think let me do it. See, there is a lot of counting in crochet, but what I'm doing doesn't involve any counting. So, you know, you can get away with it if you don't know how to count. I'm not counting right now. You don't need to count for granny squares. Well, I do need to count how many granny squares I have in total, but that's about it. And you know what I have is a counter, so that I don't even have to know how to count. I have a little finger watch that I have a counter on, so that I don't even need to be responsible for knowing numbers. What's the story with the banjo? I have a banjo. I don't know how to play it. My goal is one day to learn how to play it. That day hasn't come yet. It'll come though. I have learned 2 songs on it, but every time I get in a mood to learn a song, I learn the song. I spend a few days learning the song. I learn it, and then I move on, and then I forget how to play that song. I go on to a different hobby that is more of a hyper focus. Like the crocheting is a forever one, I feel like. I'm not letting this one go anytime soon. That one's more of a passive one that I pick up here and there, but you can't really do music passively like that. I've not actually truly learned anything. Every song I learn, I forget days later because I stop playing after I learn it. I would like to learn proper though. I find I enjoy fingerpicking more than strumming chords. And I find it easier to understand with my brain and my hands. So maybe I should be trying to do more of that. I want to be able to just pull it out at a moment's notice and just play a song. But currently I can't do that. I can barely even play a note. Rainbow loom bracelets? Loom stuff sounds fun. I've never had any kind of a loom. Isn't it just so fun making things? What monitor do I use? They're both kind of old, so I wouldn't even necessarily recommend them, but they're both from Samsung. I don't even know how big they are. They're a couple of curved Samsung monitors. I have 2, so they curve into each other, and it creates a nice wall around me. Like that one really big curved monitor does, but only having one of them, but that's really expensive and mine wasn't. I actually would not recommend curved. I would specifically recommend against curved. But I was in on that hype at the time. I got 2 curved monitors and a curved TV. Do you have to connect them to a laptop? No, I have a PC. If you're gonna have a setup that involves having 2 different monitors, you're gonna need to build your PC setup, which is your tower that has your motherboard and your graphics card. You can use a laptop, but laptops aren't really built to run like that. I have a laptop. Usually it's hooked up to my TV because that's how I watch my shows. because Netflix doesn't like when you share with your family anymore. You know how they stopped letting you share with your family on Netflix, and if you have like a shared household on your TV, you have to put "I'm traveling" or update the household. But you know how I was telling you it still works on mobile and computer? They fixed that. I got the message on my phone. You were not at your household. So they figured out how to get you when you're on your phone now too. All I'm saying is if you find a way to watch these shows without paying for these services, is it so bad? Are you really doing something criminal? What do I know? It's funny because they did make a public statement once in the past being like, sharing is caring, and then immediately took that back because they weren't making money like they wanted to be making. But we didn't forget. We never forget. Yeah, I don't think watching something that isn't supposed to be online for free is such a criminal act. Whoever put it up there is the one you gotta go for. I just found it and didn't report it and enjoyed it. Yeah, Netflix said we don't care anymore. Sharing is caring, but we don't care now. We didn't say we care. It also just doesn't work because I did have my mom, I clicked the little "I'm traveling" button, and my mom sent me the code from her email because she's the one who pays for the Netflix. And then it did it to me on my phone also. So then I would have had to go through sending the code to also get access on my phone, but my phone is on the same network as my TV. So those should be the same. I don't know, it's all stupid. If they would have just let us all share, it would have been fine. I don't watch anything enough. Well, I'm watching Gilmore Girls actually, so I do watch I do watch enough. I believe pay for them only while you're watching a show and then cancel it for the months until you have a show you want to watch again, and then resubscribe for the month, cancel it right away. No more months wasted. No more unnecessarily paying for it. And if you find other means, who am I to judge? I was taught not to judge. If people are committing acts of crime, sometimes you have to stop and ask, why? Why are they doing that? What is the issue? We listen and we don't judge. Okay, I finished this one way faster than the other one. I locked in on this one. Beautiful. Oh, actually, something went wrong. What happened? Good. Never mind. I'm making granny squares. Did I show you guys my new scissors? I got these at Walmart. It's like a little bird. It's a little peacock. So cool. I was looking for eyeballs for my amigurumis, and they didn't have them, but they had pretty scissors. Hello, welcome. We're chilling into crocheting. Chill crochet night. Hiya. Want to see my squares? I'm in granny mode tonight. Beautiful. I just finished this one. I need to weave my ends and then add it to the stack. Oh my goodness. You noticed her before I did. How'd you know she was there? That's my cat. Her name is Star. Come here. You gonna go up? She's thinking about going up. Or on my... Come here. Come on my lap. Come here. You know how you can tell that they're thinking about it? Come here. Come here. She's about to move. Come here. Yeah. You coming up? Oh, where are you going? You tricked me. Come here. Come here. Woohoo! Good girl. The people love you. My precious. And now what I can do is slide my legs under the desk, put them up in my hammock, and she can stay laying on my lap like the princess she is. What a sweetie. She is just darkness itself. And isn't that beautiful? She's gonna hate me for this, but look at her. Can you hear her purring? You're so sweet. Okay. Do you want to keep laying down or are you done now? Because I ruined it. She's staying. She won't leave. She loves me. Good girl. I have cat hair all over my nose now. She is the passenger princess on my lap. Do you want to get comfy again? Oh, yeah. She's staying. Can I get my legs up? And will you stay while I adjust? This is a delicate balance. Ah! There she goes. I was putting my legs in prime position for you to lay. She likes laying on my leg like I'm a Elgato Wave something. It's not the newest. They have a newer one of the Elgato Waves. I think this is the 3. I do kind of want to get the new one. It's like round. There's a cat hair sewn in here real tight. It's a special cat hair though, so if you happen to get a cat hair sewn in here, it's special. And this one's special because it's one of her white ones. She's sprinkled with very few of them. So if you get one sewn in, you have to leave it. It's a good omen. Okay, ends weaved. Take my cute little scissors. I felt so scared pulling these out anytime I was on the plane crocheting because I googled it. You are allowed scissors on the plane. They have to be less than 4 inches. But I'm not gonna lie, these are really sharp. Like a bump, I don't know. I very, very carefully was pulling them out, but I was so scared because they are sharp. These are pointy boys. The needle's not this sharp. This is not even sharp. Did I do anything fun today? No. We're not really in the times of having fun right now, but fun will be had later when the important work is done. Star had fun. Star's been having fun. She's allowed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Pretty impressive work. The mic is 60 pound. Is that, wait, no, 60 euro extra in white. I don't understand that either because I would love to have the mic arm in white, the mic in white, all of it in white because it's pretty. But yeah, why is there so much extra just for it to be in white? My mouse is white. And I do really like this mouse. I wish it had more buttons though. It doesn't have enough buttons. I need more. She's in the litter box. Do I live in the US? I sure do. I sure do. I live in LA. My old crochet teacher had those scissors, but they were gold. That sounds pretty. The reason I bought them too was because I was looking for eyeballs in Walmart. They didn't have the ones I needed, but they had one singular pair of these. I didn't even need scissors because I have those little cat scissors I was using that I got at Daiso, but these were the only ones there, and I needed to make my trip to Walmart not for nothing, so I got them. And they're so pretty because it's a bird. I like them. Let's do another square. I think I could finish this bag tonight. And I'm excited to just be only making this same thing over and over for a little while. I'm going to make a bunch of different colors of this one kind of bag. But I'm also going to make a few of the little heart satchels too. Like the Powerpuff Girl ones I made. Baby Bean! She looked at me like I offended her. What are your nicknames that you call your pets that are just not their names? I call her Little. I call her Small. I go, hey, Small. Smallest. The Baby Bean. Honestly, I don't even ever call her name because her name is Star-Lord. Nub Nub, because your dog doesn't have a tail. Oh my goodness. Nub Nub. Hi. Do you want to sit on my lap again? Come here. You want to try again? I won't bother you this time. I promise. Hey. You come here? You thinking about it? Even though I offended you last time by picking you up. Little. Nope, there she goes. She might go up there. Does your cat know her name? Oh, yeah. She knows. She's a very active tail, okay? And if I say her name, she starts wagging it like crazy. She is already wagging it like crazy, though. Star! You can't tell, but she wags it extra when I say her name. Especially if it's an inactive tail and I say her name, then she starts wagging it a lot. She wags it so aggressively when she's on my lap purring. Which is how I know it's not really... People will say when your cat is wagging their tail, they're aggravated. That's not necessarily always true. Cats are different sometimes. And their body language will mean different things sometimes. Because cats are all little quirky individuals sometimes. And she will, when I'm petting her and she's purring up a storm in my lap, her tail is wagging so aggressive it's whacking me in the face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I love cats too. Star! No. People also say that when they purr it means they're scared. That's almost historically never true. When has that ever been the case? That's got to be the smallest of cases they're purring when they're scared. I do know when they're making biscuits and stuff, it is self-soothing, so sometimes they do it when they're stressed, but I don't know. The owner usually knows best. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What behaviors are normal or what body language means what. You just have to be very attuned to your cat and understand. We have very good ways of communicating with each other. We've developed that over time. Yeah, they do it as a comfort thing. It's self-soothing. She does what's called snurgling, which is when they make biscuits and suckle. They do like a little sucking, and she sucks on her blanket. And they say that a lot of cats will do that when they've been weaned too early. So it's likely she was weaned too early, but she does that. She sucks. She sucks. She suckles on her blanket. It's got to be the right fabric. It has to be the right material, but she sucks on it while she's making her biscuits. And that's her self-soothing. But she does it all the time. Every night. Every nap. Every time she goes to sleep. I have 3 cats who are like the entire litter and they're all completely different. I love how a litter of cats can come out being so different. Not even in personality, but also in the way they look. You can have a litter of 10 cats and they all look entirely like different cats. They don't look related in any way, shape, or form. They're all a different color, a different pattern. How'd you start during the evacuation? We were really good. That night I had that stream. Honestly, I shouldn't have been. I felt already too deep in that episode. But it was really hard for me to get through it. I felt so bad. I was so distracted. I shouldn't feel bad for being distracted. But as soon as I ended that stream, what night was that? Was that Wednesday? I don't stream on Wednesday. No. Tuesday. It was Tuesday night. As soon as I ended that stream, I packed up a bag as a just in case. I really slept on and off because you have to be... They were telling people to sleep in shifts, and I live alone, so I was constantly checking my phone. I had my sound up so I could check. As soon as I saw the evacuation zone it was like one or two zones away from being near me, or like my zone was one or two away. That was close enough for me to be like, I don't want to wait for it to be my zone. It's already moving in this direction. 5 in the morning, we packed everything up. She was so good. Oh my goodness, look at her sitting on her orange slice. She was so good getting in her carrier. So good. You were perfect. You were an angel. You made that whole experience okay. Look at that baby. She had fun in the hotel room. She didn't know what was going on. She liked exploring. But she had a really fun time on the 50th floor looking out the window. It made it like the smallest bit enjoyable watching her not knowing what's happening, just kind of like having a fun time in the hotel room, exploring around and climbing on stuff. And then I just slept the entire next day. I was big tired. I was sick. I'm mostly better now. Today I feel the best of all of my sick days that I've been having. What in the heck are you doing? She just ran up to swat at my yarn. That is not a toy. And you know, because this is... Watch out with your pets and yarn, by the way, especially cats. They will very easily choke on it. I wouldn't let them play with it at all. I don't let her play with my yarn. It was fun for a minute until I realized that it's really, really hard for a piece of yarn to come back out of their mouth because of the way their tongues are. So don't let your cats play with yarn. They might choke. the disasters that were happening in Florida were the Democrats controlling the weather. But this is somehow an act of God. That's all so stupid. It's making a mockery of the real tragedies. And no one deserves this. People really think that you can control the weather. There are people that think that there are groups of people on this earth that are in control of the power of controlling the weather. You'd think if we could do that, we would have used that right now, right? Like, if that was a real thing, we'd be making it rain. I worry for people. My grandfather is one of those people who thinks he can control the weather. Why does he think he can control the weather? What power has been bestowed upon him? And can you ask him to make it rain? Oh, I also wanted to say, I almost forgot. Be really careful with what you engage with, what you see about this online, because there is some AI footage going around. I saw a video of the Hollywood sign on fire. The Hollywood sign was never on fire. It's fine. Oh, she almost made it up to the top part. The Hollywood sign is not on fire, was never on fire. I don't know about in the history of forever, but it was not on fire. But I keep seeing that video going around, and I keep seeing comments of people being like, I always wanted to see it, now it's gone. It was never on fire. It's literally still there. I don't know why someone would have made a video of the Hollywood sign on fire when it wasn't real. Like, what? I hate AI. I hate AI so much. But yeah, no, the Hollywood sign is fine. And as if that's like the most tragic thing that we could have lost, the letters. That could be easily rebuilt. That's really not the biggest deal. But no, it's still there. It was never on fire. So unfortunately, there is a lot of misinformation that is spread on TikTok, but I do wish that it wasn't going away. I do wish it wasn't. Oh my god, I know about the environmental impact of AI, and I can't think about it because it'll bring me. It is very upsetting. I hate AI. I hate it. I hate it. We don't need it. We literally have always been able to do everything without it just fine. We're using it way excessively, unnecessarily. We literally don't need it. I literally hate it. I hate it so much. Number one AI hater. Yeah, TikTok is really not the biggest issue. You want to know why this is like the worst time also to do this? In LA, they sent out a bunch of emergency texts notifying people that their specific area was evacuating. I received a text that my area was evacuating, and it was a mistake. And the correction wasn't sent out for like a little while later. But so much is corrected on TikTok. So much information we're able to know is corrected, and we're able to communicate that with each other so quickly using TikTok. Yes, there's a lot of misinformation on there, but we're able to communicate with each other so quickly and effectively. Yeah, my specific area was never in an evacuation zone, but everyone received the text. And they said that no human person sent those texts. That's the way they worded it. They said no human sent them. What does that mean? What do you mean? Who sent them? Why were they sent? And the correction was faster on TikTok. Ugh, it's just not a priority. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's such a useful tool, but they are... This was supposed to be calm, peaceful vibes. We really can't do that. I am not at peace. I do think I'll probably end up using Blue Sky a lot more at that point, because you know what I think we're going to need to do? TikTok's not going away for the whole rest of the world, right? So they're still going to be able to be sharing all this information, sharing these videos of things that are happening in other countries that are really important for us to be aware of. Share that on Blue Sky. What I need to do is go save all the videos I have on my collections on TikTok, but we just need the other people in other countries to share those on other platforms. Just take those TikToks, put them on Blue Sky. Take everything that's current events, put it on Blue Sky. Or, I don't know, anywhere else. I don't think that we're really loving the idea of moving fully to any other platform. Like, no one's really loving the idea of switching to Instagram or anything owned by Meta. But Blue Sky has been our, like, best alternative since Twitter. And because the rest of the world is still going to be using TikTok, just go ahead and do us a favor and post them on Blue Sky for us, too. Why don't you? Please. What's Blue Sky? It's like the Twitter replacement, because Twitter sucks. I don't know who owns Blue Sky. I don't know anything about the people who own it. But, you know, it's not Elon Musk, so that's better. Immediately. But, like, trying to keep us connected to those things is going to be important. But a lot of people are just cutting out social media, I think, altogether when this happens. I don't know. I don't know that I couldn't do that, but that's a little bit... I have to keep myself connected to you somehow. I do think I'll end up using Blue Sky more, though. Maybe I need to do a little Googling about who made it, though. Hi, Gucky! I'm doing good. We got a little star. You can barely see her. We're okay. She's up there sleeping. We're doing okay. We're keeping a close eye on things. We're keeping a close eye on our friends. We're staying safe. I have this stripey business happening and I don't know how to fix that. Thank you so much for checking. I've never really known how to fix that issue with nighttime lighting. We're just going to pretend it's not there. I'm very good at looking past that. Thank you so much. I love you. We're just having a little bit of calm crochet vibes. The smallest distraction. I made these squares. Things are pretty calm in my area, but I'm on standby to in case anything changes or to help my friends if anything changes. But it's very nerve-wracking, and I don't like just sitting around. I don't know. I was getting very shaky, like antsy. Oh no, I've made a mistake. I've made it. Oh no. Squares look like waffles. Just making a stack of waffles. pull this much out? Was I just pulling and not paying any attention? I guess. Blue Sky is owned by Jay Grabber. What a name. Oh, she's a 33-year-old software engineer, women in STEM. Okay, I'm into it. We're talking about what are we going to do when us Americans are kicked off of TikTok. I'm telling everyone who's not kicked off TikTok in all the other countries, post your TikToks on Blue Sky for us. Make sure you put them other places so we can see too. They can't keep us from seeing the TikToks. I'll just go watch them in other forms. Because you can click the little save button and then just post it literally anywhere else. I think I'm going to end up becoming more active on Blue Sky when TikTok goes away. It's like a double-edged sword because I absolutely became like slightly addicted to TikTok where I was really struggling to be able to put it down sometimes. And I think that it might be good for my mental health when it goes away. But it's such an important tool. It would be selfish for me to be happy just for my own personal sake. I just need to get my shit together. But I'm going to miss it. I don't know. Is it doomed? They did their hearing recently. Is it over? I heard about it. I didn't watch it. I heard about it. They don't even know what they're talking about. These old people don't know what they're talking about with technology. Like, they don't know. They don't even know. They don't get it. Why are people who don't understand the things they're making laws about these things? There'll be probably an alternative like Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram Reels. Yeah, we don't want the alternative to be Instagram, but they're never going to be able to stop us. They can't stop us from sharing information with each other. It's way too late for that now. We have the internet. We figured it out. People will post the important things onto Blue Sky. They won't be able to suppress everything everywhere. All they have to do is sell it. It could come back. That's not... phrasing it like that is making it sound like such an easy solution. I don't want them to sell it because it should not be American owned. It will immediately not be the same. That's such an issue that they're like, we don't want you to have access to it unless we own it and have control over all of its information that's shared with you. That's not suspicious at all. No one finds that suspicious. That's really suspicious. And they're so worried about China having our information. You're not banning Temu. It's not about that. It's very suspicious. How about we get to decide who gets access to our information? Because I'd love for Facebook not to. I would willingly give it to TikTok. I don't want anyone else having it. I don't want any American company having my data. How about that? How about that? Do you accept our cookies? No! Reject all. Always. Temu does need to go. This is true. They could be banning Temu. That would be way more helpful. Make our own TikTok. Yeah, it needs to not be American owned. That's the point. That's why it's the way it is. That's why they have an issue. Just sell it to us. It's fine. Where's Vine when you need it? Why didn't Vine last longer? What really was the downfall of Vine? We'll find a way. We always find a way. The people's willpower is too strong. We have the power. Bring Vine back. It was owned by Twitter, so maybe not in that sense, because we wouldn't want like a Elon Musk owning TikTok situation, but I don't know what happened to Vine. I don't really actually remember. Instagram bought Vine? I thought Twitter bought Vine and then killed it. Don't know. Oh, yeah, I do remember that. Vine had an issue with making money and advertising. That's what killed him. Man, you know how easy it would be to be a... I mean, no billionaire is cool, but do you know how easy it would be to make yourself seem like a cool billionaire by just doing something cool with all that money, and none of them choose to do cool stuff that's helpful? Why are they all losers that don't help? What if, like, a cool billionaire that was a cool guy bought TikTok and then gave it to the people, uses power and money for good? When you never see that, do you? It's so easy having a lot of money to be cool if you just spent it on the right things, and they just never do. Like Mr. Beast? No! No, not like him. That man saw Squid Game, the show, and said, I want to be the bad guy in that show. I don't know. I don't like it. That's the wrong one. Not the best example, maybe. Let's not forget people with a lot of money can still give it for good causes, but still also be doing exploitative practices. Good people do good deeds sometimes too, just to help their image, but I mean, bad people do good things sometimes. I don't know. All the information that came out about all that doesn't sound like that was also good. That's why there are no cool billionaires, because they immediately wouldn't be billionaires anymore. They'd give it away to do something sick and awesome right away. Like fixing world hunger. The amount of issues that are easily solvable with like the smallest amount of some of these elite wealthy people's massive amounts of wealth, a small amount of it. I can't, I'll get upset. What do you need all that for anyway? Oh, do you know how cool it would be? I just gotta do hand stretches. Oh, another part of my body I need to stretch now. Getting older sucks. I have to stretch out my hand muscles. I'm gonna get arthritis. I already game with this hand. I'm gonna have carpal tunnel syndrome. Star still, yeah. That little thing right there is her ear. This. It's really hard to tell. She's this like dark lump, but then there's also this plant behind her, so some of those leaves are coming out. But that lighter bit, that's her ear. Star. Yeah, no movement. She's up there. It's even more important for you to do hand stretches as a gamer. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna admit something really embarrassing. When I was a kid, like I must have been 11 or 12. I was already into my PC gaming at that point. I was playing RuneScape, and all my friends were talking about carpal tunnel syndrome online, and I was like, "What's that? That's cool. I want that." And so I told my mom, from all my gaming, my wrist started hurting, and I convinced her to buy me a wrist brace, and I thought it made me look so cool. My wrist didn't hurt. I lied. I just wanted a wrist brace to look cool. I'd never had any kind of a brace at that point. I had never broken anything. I've still never broken anything. But I just really wanted to look cool with a wrist brace. Yeah, I game that hard. Never had any wrist pain. I lied. Wrist braces do look cool. It's true. And then people in school would be like, "Why do you have that?" And I'm like, "I have carpal tunnel syndrome." I did have a lot of ankle injuries, but none of them were quite as bad as my one that I had in college, where I was put in a boot for a very long time. I had to walk around in a boot for a few months. I forget how long. I think it was many months. Multiple months. Never broke it, though. I only sprained... I don't really know what I did, because no one communicated to me what happened. They x-rayed it and said the bone wasn't broken, but something audibly snapped, and we don't really know. I don't really know. They probably knew. A ligament tore or something? I don't know. Sounds awful. It sucked. I wore that boot for a while. All through the winter. But never broke a bone, because God knows I can handle it. I'm emotionally already destroyed. Something broke, but the bone isn't broken. Oh, wait, no, that's... Yeah. I was like, what do you mean? Yeah, something snapped, but... no one ever told me what it was. Just wasn't a bone. Probably a tendon or something, and then I was in a boot. God didn't give me those battles because mine were tough enough. It's like, I'll leave your bones nice and strong. I don't even drink milk. It was my last nerve. I should really try to calm my mind and see things from your side. Or maybe you can okay, yeah, it was about 30 minutes. I'm weaving in my ends. Except a disc in my back. Too many times. Multiple times? Oh, that really scares me. A back injury? Falling off your horse? Horses are scary. They could kill us and they choose not to. Sometimes they choose to. I've been horseback riding, but I am slightly afraid. They hold so much power, you know. Why did God give horses so much power? What else TikTok keeps pushing down my throat real hard right now is Girl Meets World, which I did love. Boy Meets World. Ta-da. But it does seem like it was a really cute show. A lot of people said that the writing was pretty bad, but I love all the moments. I'm just seeing all the moments where they brought back characters from the original show. And those are really fun for me because I watched the original show. Boy Meets World is really, really good. Also, Saved by the Bell. Those shows were really, really good. Saved by the Bell is really, really good. Here's my stack of waffles. This should be 13 now. I need 3 more. Wait. No. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I need 3 more. And then 1 red one. I am going to finish this tonight. Okay, I'm going to do another one. Where are we? Yeah, I'm going to do 1 more. Who's your favorite Boy Meets World character? I really liked Eric, his brother. He might have been my favorite, I think. I also really liked when they introduced Jack, Sean's brother, and I really like Sean. Topanga, actually, that was the best. Topanga's a queen. She has the most beautiful hair. She's stunning. God, what a beautiful human being. I love Topanga. I love the episode where she cuts her hair, and I watched the interview of her like explaining that she wanted to cut her hair, but the like producers didn't want her to do it, and they were like, okay, if you're gonna cut your hair, we need to write it into the show and make an episode about it. And she was like, okay, and she really cut her hair because she just wanted to have a haircut. That's a really good episode. She just grabs the scissors and cuts. It's fun seeing them so little. They start so young with that show, and then they end up full-blown adults by the time Boy Meets World ends. They're already adults and like they get married. You know what other show is really good that you watch the kids grow up? Degrassi. That show, if you didn't watch it, if you weren't there at the time, you don't understand. Degrassi was such an era. Even like the newer generation, I watched for quite a bit of time. I didn't watch the very original Degrassi, the old one, but that show is so iconic. So many great lines. It's so funny, unintentionally. It's so dramatic. It's so good. David Degrassi character. That's tough because I watched many seasons. I watched the entirety of, I don't know what they officially call it, but I watched from the point that there's like the old show, and then they start the new one where Emma is like really baby. I watched at the very beginning of that all the way through when they did the next generation. I really liked, there are so many good characters. I loved Manny. Manny is the blueprint for Maddie from Euphoria. If you know, you know. I really liked Manny. I really liked JT. Oh, I loved Sean. There's another one and I can't remember his name that I liked. There were so many good ones. Great show. Really good show. Also, never too late to watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Never getting over JT's storyline. I know. Oh my, the heartache that this show will cause you too. Some of it's so ridiculous that it's funny, but then some of it's so sad. I watched Freaks and Geeks. I did not watch Skins. I watched Misfits, but I watched Freaks and Geeks. That's really good too. They just don't make TV like that anymore, do they? Hate to be like that, but it's true. I never watched anything about Fuller House. But I did watch Full House. Friends is good. We were a big Seinfeld household. And I do think that it was one of the funniest shows. Seinfeld is super underrated. It was really, really funny. I loved those accounts that were like Seinfeld if it was still on today. One of the only good Twitter accounts. And mine. We do still have good TV now, but it's so not appreciated and it's not given enough money to thrive. They give it not enough seasons. They pull it off their platforms. They don't put it back anywhere, and then you just don't get to see it ever again. It's done such injustice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, I love that Arcane is getting the appreciation that I think it deserves. But even season 2, it felt like was a little bit rushed, and everyone agrees that we wish we had just like a little bit more. 3 seasons. It felt like such a tool to set up the future series they're gonna do, but we grew to love the characters in Arcane so much, we weren't done with them yet. I would have loved a little bit more. Give them everything they want. Give them 3 seasons and then go work on the other stuff. But I love that at least we're getting more shows like that, because I love animated shows and just movies and media. I love animation. I appreciate the craft. If you haven't watched Arcane, it might be like one of the best TV shows. Season 1 is the best. Season 2 is also phenomenal. It's like really hard to complain about it because it is so good. The only complaint most of us have is that we want more. We wish there was just like a little bit more. A little. Not even that much. But like every single frame of that show is well thought out. The dedication is so noticed. Yeah, it is tough to invest in a show when you don't know how long it's even going to last for. Is it going to get a conclusion? Is it worth your investment? Everyone suffers when we don't just put money in the arts for the sake of it being art and a story to tell.
Said I wouldn't do it, but I hunted you down. Know you were the girl, but it didn't work out. Know you bought a house, but you had to move out. I'm not proud, guess I'm just scared of you shooting.
Vi's my favorite. I do really like Vi. She's my favorite character. I think very misunderstood. Not shown enough love. And she deserves it. But Echo's the best. He's literally perfect. This is Risk by Gracie Abrams. All of these songs are on my Spotify. My Spotify name is Shubble. This is my 2024 playlist. It's public. I have one for 2024, 2023, 2022, and 2021. But there's a question mark on it because it wasn't official at that point, but that was the playlist I made in 2021, so I just titled that after the fact. Now I do a playlist every year of just like what I'm vibing with. I have a lot of playlists. I have a lot of private ones. But I always have a yearly one that I just dump like my favorites that I'm liking at the time. And this is my 2024 one. 2025 is a work in progress. Excited to see what we get for music in 2025. We had a great 2024 for music. You have a favorite song right now? Yeah. It played earlier. It's the literal bottom of this playlist because it's one of my most recent favorites. And it's the song Sucker from Arcane. From the series Arcane League of Legends. It's a really good song. The music in Arcane's really good. What can I say? You can't blame me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's literally so good. Also, Home by Cave Town is a really good song that I just discovered recently that I really, really like. But I have a bad habit of skipping just to the second half of the song, so I really like the second half of the song. And Fable by Gigi Perez. I'm into that one a lot lately. It's usually the bottom of my most recent playlist, and I'm not into the 2025 one enough yet because it's too soon. It's too new. 8. Okay. They had great voice acting, they had great music, they have great animation. It's a phenomenal show. Literally every frame is thought out because they have those impact frames that in a regular watch, you would never even see them. There's so much attention to detail. I love it. I love details.
I'm sorry, I'm not Mr. Sunshine. All jokes till I start feeling like the punchline. I know that you want Mr.
Got my little heart. Nice and neat. Nice and flat. My things would always come out so wonky before, but now I've got like such control. It's so nice and even. 1, 2, 3, 4. This yarn is getting more and more sad. The worm. He's getting so flat. I love to see my progress in the way that my yarn ball looks more and more like a flattened worm. Looks like those things from Dune. the sandworms. This is Mr. Sunshine by Arden Jones. fave artist? I don't usually have a favorite artist. I'm not usually listening to a single artist and all of their music. I'm usually listening to a different song by a different person. I just use, like, I'll pick a song that I like and then I'll make a radio on Spotify and just listen to a bunch of similar songs. But I very, very rarely pick a single artist and listen to all of their music. I don't really attach myself to an individual artist. I just know individual songs. So that one's tough. I did like a lot of songs from the band Harry Was Here last year. That was in my Spotify Wrapped. But my Spotify Wrapped wasn't exactly accurate because it blatantly lied to my face. A provable lie. It basically just gave me all of the music I had been listening to the most recently. So it wasn't entirely wrong. It was all music I was actively listening to, but it was just the more recent ones. And then it just lied to me about some things that just were blatantly not true. It told me that my most listened to in March was Charlie XCX. I didn't listen to my first Charlie XCX song, my literal first time ever listening to her, until June. I had never listened to her before that. And they said, you listened to Charlie XCX the most in March. No, I didn't. I literally didn't. I never heard her before. Well, I did know music from her without knowing, but I didn't on Spotify listen to her. They just tried to lie to me. The first song that I ever heard from her knowingly and actually put on my Spotify was Girls, featuring Lorde. That was my first time listening to her. And what a good song. That's in here somewhere too. Did you powerfully go out when it was windy? No, you know what was the funniest thing? It's not really funny, but that night, right at the end of the episode when I lost power, it literally went out for a second. It immediately came back on. I almost thought that there was a small chance that my stream might have still been live, but my computer fully shut down and turned back on. But it was a literal second, and immediately it came back. So I didn't end up without power for any amount of time, which is I'm really lucky. Good timing for the stream. That it was after we finished that episode. I didn't want to play another episode today because I want to not be distracted when playing. So I'm going to wait until... I'm going to wait. Yeah, I have a feeling this year's Spotify Wrapped was done by AI too. I hate how much is being used with AI and I'm not opting in. I didn't sign up for this. Yeah, last year's was so good. What happened? I have the screenshots of mine. I don't even remember. I didn't post what it was, but I can't remember what was on it. It was just like, whatever was my most recent music I was listening to, which I was like, that's fine. But these are definitely not the most listened to of the whole year. These are just from right now. Let's see if I can find it. Did Spotify Wrapped come out before or after MCC Wrapped? I need to know because this is where I'm at in my screenshots. Oh, I found it. Harry Was Here, top artist. I knew that. My top 5 were Harry Was Here, Christian Gate, Viola. I listened to one song by that person, Gojo and Aries. Like these were not my top artists. I know that for a matter of fact. I listened to individual songs by some of these artists a good number of times because I put them on loop because I do that, but not that much. Harry Was Here is valid because there just happened to be a lot of songs by him I had on my playlist this last year, but these other four were absolutely not listened to more than anything else. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I reject it. And then top songs were the songs by those 5 people, which were definitely not my top songs. Disagree. And then I guess I missed taking the screenshot of when it said, it was like Pop Princess something. I got that one. Whatever that one was. You know what I mean. They give you like a little name. Pink Pilates Princess Roller Skating, something like that. I got whatever that one was. It was like people got one or the other. I don't remember how many different ones there were, but if you listened to any Chapel Rowan, you got that one. Favorite movie that came out this year? My brother asked me this. What was my favorite movie that I saw that came out this year? I didn't see a lot of movies this year, or last year, that came out last year. I didn't watch a lot of the movie. Last year was a big year for scary movies coming out, and I saw a few, but there weren't a whole lot of movies that came out and that I watched in the same year. I don't know what my favorite movie I watched. My favorite movie that I watched for the first time last year, but didn't come out last year, was The Cat Returns. That was really good. I only don't say Whisper of the Heart because after I watched it, I remembered that I had actually seen it before, so that wasn't my first time watching it. These can all be watched in our community nights, in our community movie nights coming soon. Yeah, I want us to all watch all of the Studio Ghibli movies. That'll take us a while. We don't have to watch all of them, but there are a lot I want to watch that I haven't watched yet, and I will be subjecting movie nights to my choices for a while. And those are going to be Ghibli movies for a while. Oh yeah, you guys watched Grave of the Fireflies. How was it? I haven't seen it. I know that I'll cry. I know that I'll cry, and I'll cry a lot. For someone who already does cry a lot, I'll cry a lot. I like crying though. It's good. I'm in tune with my emotions. Oh, it's so sad. My neighbor, we share a wall. I can hear them thumping around. Ponyo's really good too. Ponyo's great. Maybe not appreciated enough. I don't know what the first movie's gonna be, our first movie night. I know that I made us watch Howl's Moving Castle 2 recently. I'll always watch it. It is my #1 favorite movie ever, but I just know that we did already do that one. I don't know which one we'll do. Kiki's Delivery Service is also always a really good one. And did we watch that one? Well, I don't remember which ones we did do when we did the few movie nights that we had. It doesn't really matter. We'll pretend those didn't even happen anyway. We have to start our movie ranking and let everyone react to give their ranking of the movie. So we will have to rewatch Howl's Moving Castle eventually anyway. Totoro is very good. I like Princess Mononoke's in my top 3. And I did really, really like Boy and the Heron. I really enjoyed that new one. Ponyo, I feel like, could be a fun one for our movie night. That one's a good one, and a lot of people, I don't know why they didn't see it. I saw it because me growing up in the time that I grew up, I loved knowing that the voice actors in the English version were Little Noah Cyrus and Little Frankie Jonas. Being someone who loved the Jonas Brothers and Hannah Montana and everything on Disney Channel at that time, I loved knowing that about that. They get such fun actors for the English voices in Ghibli films for the dub. They always do such a good job getting really great people. Something that's a fun fact, I did go to the Studio Ghibli museum in Japan when I was in Japan, and there was a room with a lot of the old concept arts, and the original concept art for Kiki, she had orange hair, and it's really, really cute. She has little orange hair, and it's so beautiful in the drawings. I wish that they would have had orange hair because it's such a pretty color. But I love her exactly the way she is also, because she has a hair color similar to my natural hair color, and that's why I bought this photo, because I thought that it really actually looked like me and my cat. But it's a drawing of Kiki and Gigi. I got it at TwitchCon. But I was like, that's just me holding my own cat. Especially when I was young, I almost always had my hair cut in a bob. I always wanted my hair chopped off, almost always. I almost always had it chin length. My whole childhood, I'd like grow it out here and there in between, but then I'd always come back to chopping it off chin length. All the way up until college, I started growing it out until eventually the amount of times that I have taken my own scissors and cut my own bob chin length in my bathroom. And don't get me too excited, because I will be having a bob when I'm done with these extensions, and I'm a little too excited about it that I might rush the process. But I would really like to wear these for a lot longer first. But imagine this hair color and the cutest little shaggy bob. That's what I'm going for. Love a bob. I just found my hair to be a nuisance as a child. It was in the way. And I loved having it short, always. I always wanted it chopped short my whole childhood. Oh, don't spend too much time wishing your hair looked like mine, because my hair doesn't even look like this. These are extensions. I do really like Gracie Abrams' bob. I like her hair a lot. She's got a very cute length. How long is your actual hair? That's tough because it's layered in. And I did a little bit of a reckless act and I chopped off the ends. I chopped the bits of my natural hair that come out here. So I cut these because I didn't like the way the ends looked. So this part of my hair is this short. But then there's some parts of my hair that are this long. I think the longest bits of my hair are about here. Probably here. But I'm in the process of growing out years and years and years and years of layered bleach damage, and I finally have, like, this chunk of my hair is all perfectly fresh, never bleached, just lightened but without bleach to be red. Which is a lot easier to do with brown hair than make it blonde, but we don't need to use bleach anymore. We use high lift, so my hair is so healthy coming in. But those very end bits were so dry, I just chopped them off. Chop my headphone off. And my curls look so good underneath. I'm so happy. I can't wait to see it in its natural state, but it needs some more progress growing. It needs some more time cooking. And slowly chopping off my years of bleach. I don't regret it though. I knew what I signed up for. Loved being blonde for the time I was blonde. No regrets. Done. Now I weave my ends. Bless you! I heard a little sneeze. Yeah, I've got curly hair. My curls sit somewhere between 2C and 3A at its healthiest, but I really haven't seen that in a long time. That's the goal. A nice little cute bob and my natural curls thriving. Where's my needle? Thinking I gotta give you her curly hair routine. Yeah, she has way thicker hair than me though. I already know that I can't use products that are too heavy because I have very fine hair. But you know what I already do know from the time that I did try this before? I let my hair be brown and it was slowly becoming curly and then I bleached it recklessly. But, Not Your Mother's curly hair gel. I forget what it's called, but it's a curl gel from the brand Not Your Mother's. That one was really light on my hair, and I really, really liked it. Shea Moisture I found to be too heavy for my hair. Creams were too heavy for my hair. Gels were way better for me. And Not Your Mother's was a really good one. I've been down this road before. I do think I'm done with bleach for a while, because when I cut my bob and go natural, I'm going to keep dyeing it this red, because I'm just a little bit too in love with this color, but I have no interest in being blonde anymore. I don't know if that'll last forever, but I think I'm done for a while with bleach. I do like the idea of being like a little bit of a lighter natural gingery orange, but I don't want to use bleach to go that light anymore, I think. We'll see. When I have all fresh, untouched, unbleached hair, I might change my mind. A fresh palette, it's too tempting. I think when I cut my hair, though, I might also play around with wigs again. because that's pretty fun too. And that's a really nice way to protect your hair, to let it grow out and take a break. Okay. That's it for this square. Very nice. My stack is growing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 2 more brown ones and then 1 red one. So only 3 more squares. I'm gonna finish this tonight, but I'm gonna end stream. I'm gonna go. This has been so fun. It's been a nice sort of relaxing break. I'm gonna remain vigilant tonight. In the next few nights. But thank you guys for keeping me company tonight. Thanks for being so nice and so cool and so kind. Let me do these and go read the hugs. Also, thank you everyone who subscribed. Thank you, Seashore, for they sent $5. I didn't see that 30 minutes ago. And for subscribing. Duck Rennie, thank you. Faithy, Bugsy Bug, The One Without Ideas, Brooke, Nick with an F, Enchanted K's, The Snoop, Caitlin Flute, Tulips, Prince LPJ, thank you for gifting. One Oot, Camden and Wonderful, Dark Knight, James the Potato, Cinna, Ben, Utter Chaos, Sunray. Thank you guys all for subscribing. Thanks for being here and hanging out. I will be staying safe. You stay safe too. Ashanti, It's Haley. These are old ones actually. One Purple Panda, that's from today. Lesbian Lux and Mia Moore. Get in here. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for keeping me company tonight. And jamming out, doing a little crocheting work. Thanks for coming. This has been a fun chatting stream. Check out the Tiltify link. And thank Ethan for putting that together. And let's see. I'm gonna have you guys go raid Kara. Go say hello, be so nice, so cool, so friendly. Thanks for joining tonight. Take care of yourselves. Oh, girls just came on. I'll be back Tuesday, probably, maybe sooner than that. We'll see how things go, but stay informed. Don't believe everything you see. The Hollywood sign's down on fire. And do what you can to help if you can. Go say hi to Cara. Check in on her. Go say hello. All right, good night, guys. Goodbye. Goodbye.